What's going on, guys? Mr. Black Magic here, the DRM Gamecast. Here with me, Omega D's.
Of the DRM Gamecast.
And this is a review for Reversi Quest on Xbox One, developed by Yokogosystems.
Yokogo.
Yokogo. So I actually looked into it. It's based off the board game that's of the same name called Reversi, and I actually was thinking it was like a ripoff of Othello, but apparently it's the same game. Like
They
the
just
rich
should just call it something different in
Yeah,
different
like the
regions or something.
original. I don't know if it said it was made by like two European guys. I was thinking maybe like the Japanese name was Reversi and then the Americans just changed it to Othello. But I mean, originally the game was called Reversi and then Mattel got their hands on it and when they started marketing it, they switched it to Othello for whatever reason. But it's the same exact game.
Uh,
So if you ever played Othello or the original Reversi, it's pretty similar to that, but instead of black and white little chips, you actually have soldiers, and there's a little kind of backstory going on.
they're like little pewter statues or something. What they look like.
Yeah, it's like kind of like little, I don't know, chess pieces, I guess, but a little more detailed. So
Yeah.
instead of just like a rook or something, it's actually like a soldier in a little stance. So kind of similar to like Dungeons and Dragons style. Um, the funny thing that we both noticed right off the bat was there's kind of like this broken English. I don't even know if it's fair to say broken English. It's more like kind
Uh,
of lazy Google Translate.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
You could tell some of it's bad translation, like festival.
Yeah,
When they're trying to say
yeah.
festival, but then
Yeah,
there's
like
sentences where that's just like bad English.
like when you attack an opponent, weapon add more damage. It's like
Yeah.
or or if you
Yeah.
feel opponents are strong, to raise your level is a good way to proceed the game.
Yeah. That's
Like
probably
what
how
is
I'm
this
translating.
Yoda, Yoda talking to me over here?
Yeah. What's that
What?
other one? Like she is strong, even strong man put on shame. I don't
Yeah.
really know what that means, but it's
I
probably
think
our
there.
translation.
Yeah, I mean you can tell what it's trying to say, so it's not like horrible, horrible. I thought it was more funny than anything. Like I wouldn't even knock the game for it. I
Uh,
just thought it was funny.
yeah, it didn't bother me. It's all your bases are belong to us.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Um, but so the way the game actually plays out, it's if you ever played like Hand of Fate, that was on Xbox One, or I think Dungeons and Dragons, certain like Dungeons and Dragons style games are like that, where it's just kind of like tiles laid out in a random order, and you're just moving your piece along those tiles, and then depending on which one you land on, something different could happen. So you just roll a dice. If you roll three, you move three squares up, and then that square might be a battle, or it might be like a heal tile where you roll a green dice and you get health back, or it might be
Yeah.
a gold tile where you roll, a six, and so you get 60 gold.
There's I found a secret path tile also.
Yeah, yeah, the secret pass. There's a lot of different ones, and like there's one where you get to go to a store and you spend gold on the store.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the battles they actually play out just like normal Reversi or Othello, where you're trying to, I guess, trap the other opponent's pieces. So like if you like in Othello, it's just black and white chips. So if you have like a black, white, white, and you put a black on the other end, then it flips those two white ones to black. So you kind of capture their pieces.
Yeah.
Um, this is like the same style, but you're trying to defeat the opponent. So if they have say 10 health, and you have two attackers on either end of two of their pieces, when you put that attacker on one end, it'll deal damage to the two in the middle, and then flip those to your side.
That makes. I was wondering why, like, I would attack something, and the base of the statue would turn white, and then they
Yeah,
attack
it
me in
flips
terms of
it to
okay. Yeah, that
yeah,
makes sense
it
now.
does flip it to your piece. Which when you get later on, there's it can get very strategic that game. Like so when you first start off, there's only three different types of pieces you can put. It's attacker, healer, and mana. So if you trap the enemy's pieces with attackers, it deals damage to the opponent. If you trap them with healers, it gives you health back. And if you trap them with mana, it gives you mana back, which you use for spells that you also get later.
You put those on the board. There's like healing squares and stuff, damage
The only
squares.
one I even saw that was worth a damn was the healing square.
That
The
damage
other
square
ones,
works if they step on it. Like they
well,
they,
yeah,
they
that
have to
seemed
put a
like
piece on it for it to work.
you have to be really strategic to use the.
Uh,
So like the spells, the board is just kind of like just like square tiles, just like a normal like Othello board, and but sometimes they'll start where one of the squares will have a healing spot on it, where if you put your piece there, you'll get some bonus health, or there'll be a damage one where if you put your piece there, you get dealt damage. And so then there's some spells where you can turn a tile into a heal spot or a damage spot, or there's one that's a white tile that just makes it so you get bonus whatever. So like if you're doing an attack placement, you'll just get bonus damage, or if you're doing a heal placement, you'll get bonus health.
yeah,
Um, but one thing I thought was an interesting approach. So the game has 8 chapters, and you just get XP as you progress. You every battle you win, you get a little bit of XP, and you start leveling up. You start unlocking like level 2 versions of attackers. You start unlocking equipment. But by the time I was on, so it starts off chapter 0. It's 0 through 8, or no, it's 0 through 7.
uh,
And when I got to chapter 2, it said recommended level 7, and I was only level 5. So I
yeah,
did chapter 0 and 1, and I wasn't even at the level to do chapter 2. So the game is kind of really heavily leads you toward replaying chapters.
yeah. Well, there's those because I actually had the same problem. I was level 5 when I got to chapter 2, and so I went back and played through chapter 0, and I landed on some of the squares I didn't, and got like even more stuff, unlocks and stuff.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
if you
actually
land
working.
on this, and if you land on the square that you landed on before, so say the first time you're going through chapter 1 and you land on a square that gives you gold, if you land on that same square again, you'll have a better chance to get more gold the second time. Like it
Yeah,
increases the level of that tile, and you have a better chance of getting something the next time around.
yeah.
Um,
It's a grindy ass game. That's for
yeah,
sure.
so one of the achievements, it actually says defeat the level 99 final boss. And so I'm nowhere near at the end of the game. But if the actual boss is really level 99, you're gonna have to replay a lot of the early chapters and level up your not only just your normal level, but you're gonna have to get your characters leveled up. You're gonna have to level up your gear because some of the items you can get like an axe where it just gives you more total attack, or you
Yeah,
can get some staff that gives you more total health. Like if you get those again, it'll just basically combine them and it'll be better.
yeah. That's why I was
So
running with that axe.
so you're gonna have to really play through a lot of those chapters over and over again to get up to level 99, and even to just be prepared for those higher chapters. But I thought the game, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was it gets really strategic, man, when they start throwing in all the different types of troops at you.
Yeah, that's my strategy. Still hasn't changed. Just do the most damage with every move.
Well,
That's
it
been
started
working out
getting
for me.
what I started getting to was when it starts throwing like the blue people at you, where it's a scout, and I can't remember the other guy's name,
The
but they
blue.
have like a blue tile.
Yeah, I haven't run into that yet. Then.
Yeah, so they start throwing in like an enemy where there'll be a blue like character already on the game, already on the board when you start, and you can, if you have another blue person, you can use that like, I don't know, default kind of player as your player. So if there's like the blue players lined up and they have a bunch of theirs, and then you put one of your blues, you can use it as your own to capture all theirs.
Okay.
But then they start throwing like defenders at you, which are half attack, half heal. They start throwing divine at you, which is half attack, half mana. Where if you have like say 2 divines on either side, you deal attack damage plus you get mana back.
Yeah,
Or there's the lords where it's all three. He does attack, heal,
yeah.
and mana. You
And
could
the
do one
lords
of
and
each or all three.
that's I like the lords. That's what I've been. That's like my main piece. It's one of the reasons I've been winning.
Well, yeah, but then the game also limits you because there's a cost to each troop character, so you can't just have nothing but lords. Like a lord is 7 points, where like a level 1 attacker is only 1 point, And
Yeah.
so your max might be 50 or whatever it is, so you can't just. Plus, if you run out of pieces, it just lets the opponent take all of his turns. So you don't want to just have,
Well, you gotta have as many
four
pieces.
lords out there. You take 4 turns, and then he goes and takes like 6 in a row
Yeah.
because he has way more pieces than you.
Yeah. You get more space though as you level up. I would just
Yeah.
My plan is to keep all the strong dudes and load up the rest with scrubs, so I got just more turns than the other dude.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to replay just like keep replaying chapter 1 and just level my guys up.
Yeah.
Get like level because once you get like a level 3 attacker will do 3 damage for every person you pin
Yeah.
versus a level 1 attacker only does 1 damage. So, but then the trade-off is a level 3 attacker costs more to put out there.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of a balancing act between who you throw in for each battle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what would you think, Omega? What would you rate the game out of 10?
But I was thinking like between 6 and 7 somewhere. Like I haven't. I'd say 6.5 out of 10 because I'm not real big into those kind of games, but I'm actually kind of liking this one. You know.
Yeah, I'm along those same lines. I think I like it a little bit better than you. I'm sitting more around like a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, that's I have a bias against turn-based anything. So I need to put that out there. You know, that's why it's a 6.5.
Yeah.
But I'm actually enjoying the game, so maybe I should raise that up to a 7.
Well, yeah, I think my only knock is just the kind of the stress of replaying chapters to progress.
Yeah,
Because
I don't
I
like that
think
either.
I'm so conditioned to where it's like you're at the point you need once you reach that point. At most like almost every game now does that.
Yeah,
Once you complete chapter 1, you're ready for chapter 2. This game, it's more like, yeah, you completed chapter 2, but you should probably do it again because you're
yeah,
not ready for chapter 3.
yeah. I didn't like that because I mean, if I can beat the boss of the chapter to move on, I should be ready for that next chapter. Because the boss
Well,
is
it's
the
funny
pinnacle
too.
at that in the
It's funny
chapter.
too because I actually or was it the second time I did chapter 2, I just lost every single battle until I got to the boss, and then I beat the boss and cleared the chapter.
So, what?
Yeah,
So when
it's
you
it's
lose,
weird
do you just roll
because
and go forward?
when you lose, it will keep you at 1 health. You never go below 1 health.
So you can actually like game over.
Yeah, it won't ever like start you over on that chapter. You'll just sit at 1 health and go to the next fight with 1 health, and then they'll attack you on your first turn. You'll lose, and you'll come out with 1 health, and you'll move on.
Well, I like that. No game over. I wouldn't want to start that game all over again. It's probably because
Yeah.
of how grindy it is. You know, give you a
When
chance to get
and
out of
those
the chapter.
chapters get really long too. I mean, if you get lucky and land on a shortcut piece, then obviously you kind of like cut through a path and
Yeah,
skip like a whole corner or something. But
yeah, they could
like
have.
chapter 2 is really long.
Yeah, that's the one I found the shortcut that cut the shortcut path. I think.
And then it's also managing like your gold and your diamonds because you can't just, you're not going to have like an infinite supply of health potions to heal yourself after a battle.
Yeah, I wasted all my diamonds pretty quick. I didn't know
Yeah.
they were. I haven't
Yeah,
gotten any since.
I'm down to like 6 or something because if you want to like retry a battle, it's 1 diamond. If you want to buy 1 health potion, I think it's 4. So yeah, I mean it only starts you off with 20.
Yeah.
You do get some when you beat a chapter, it gives you back like 5 or something like that, not much.
Wonder if you could replay a chapter and get more. I didn't even check into that when because I beat
Well,
chapter
all the
zero again.
chapters do have like there's a thing called accomplishments where it's like random tasks that if you complete, it'll reward you with either gold or an item or a new troop level or something. So some of those tasks do reward you with diamonds, and there's separate tasks for each chapter. Which, like I
But
said, that all goes back into the kind of stress of replaying chapters to get better.
yeah, I mean at least I don't know, man. It kind of seems whatever the price on that is. It seems like there's some replayability there. You know, I think that I see that as a positive kind of.
Yeah,
Depends on how much
it's
grinding needs to be done. You
it's
know.
$15.
Oh
All
yeah.
the information will be down low in the comments in terms of developer and price and all that.
Yeah, I think that would be worth that money. 'Cause, if you're gonna do it all, you got a lot of playing time in that game
Yeah,
for
yeah, you're not gonna
$15.
blow through it. Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I could easily see that game taking 20 hours to even complete like one full playthrough, if not longer.
that's longer than most retail games.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of that's like lowballing it too. I think it could easily take longer than that. By the time you
Yeah,
get to chapter 7 and beat the final boss, I could easily see being way over 20 hours.
yeah. But I don't know, man. I kind of like it. So $15. That seems like a good price.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, that's our thoughts on the game. Let us know what you guys thought of the review. Once you get your hands on the game, let us know what you think of the game. We'll be doing more reviews on the channel coming up soon.
Yep.
So stay tuned. All right. Peace.
Yeah. I was trying to think of something to say to add to the thing.